everybody. Hope you're all doing well. This is my peace lily. It hasn't actually been repotted. It's still in its pot from the store, and it's actually doing very well on some parts, but this bit here, if you can see, the bottom two leaves, they've just actually flopped, and I'm really quite worried because I don't know what's going on. They were actually perked up when they first came in the first day or two, and the rest of the plant seems okay, so I'm really not sure what's going on with these two bottom leaves. And like I've always said, plants always try to tell you if something's wrong. So the only way really I'm going to find out what's going on with this, considering the rest of the plant, if you look at the upper leaves, they're fine, they're really healthy. But the bottom two leaves just refuse to either unfurl or perk up. They just flopped. So here's a glass. I showed you this glass before that I was going to actually put it in water. And I'm thinking I'm going to split this plant up. I'm going to leave the main plant as it is in soil, but I think I'm going to try and save the two bottom leaves in this goblet over here. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to actually have to remove all the soil, because you can't really put the peace lily in water until you've washed off all the soil that it's potted in. So basically I'm going to have to move it out of this soil, and also I'm thinking of putting it into this pot. Now this pot has got a tiny offshoot of a sansevieria peace lily from a very large peace lily, and it seems a bit too small for this pot. There's lots of room in there, and it's a beautiful pot, so I'm thinking of putting the main part of the other peace lily in here. Looking at the leaves, they're a bit strange. I mean, they are growing, but they're all curled up. Looks very interesting, really. They are growing, but they're sort of stuck on each other, and I think they might unfurl and be normal, but like I said, it's a bit too big for just a tiny little peace lily baby in there. So there's lots of room, plenty of room, and I might just actually move this peace lily in with it. Like I said, it's looking very healthy, but these bottom two leaves I'm worried about. Also, the soil seems very compacted. I think I'm going to have to mix it, add some, additions to it to make the soil better. Things to aerate it. So basically what I've got here, I've got some perlite, the white perlite here, and I've got some very tiny bark chips, if you have a look. They're also very popular in aerating the soil, making it slightly chunkier in area. And I've got some charcoal, pure charcoal. It's not the barbecue type with chemicals. And that's like candy for the plants. They love that. It seems to purify any of the water that goes in, and obviously it has nutrients. So I'm going to actually take it out of its pot. Like I said, this soil seems very, very compacted. It doesn't seem to have many additions to it that would give it a nice texture. So I'm squeezing the pot. If you squeeze it a little, then it sort of loosens the soil, and then the plant can be eased out a lot easier. So let's get the pot off of here. Soil seems very wet, so giving it a little shake. Now, it's got a good root system, not extensive, but it is a small plant still. It hasn't grown that much. It's not very bushy. And as I suspected, the side babies are See, now I can see what's going on. It's got roots coming out from the main plant, but the reason why the two bottom leaves were flopped, I think they've actually broken off from the main plant and they've not got any water supply. So if you look, there's long roots there. So there are healthy roots available for the plant, and that's why the majority of the plant is very perked up and healthy. But the poor two lower leaves, they're just basically split up there, see? There's just nothing to feed them. And they don't even have any roots to actually feed them any water. So this is why they've actually drooped and they needed help. And look, it's just come straight off. They've got nothing, no roots at all. So these really need to go into some water and they need help with roots to grow. So water is a very good rescue medium really to help roots. See, have a look, not a single root. So we're going to have to wash this off, give it a clean, get the soil off because we don't want any disease or rotting. And I'm going to put it in that little golden glass goblet, and hopefully it should recover. The rest of it I can put it into the plant pot with the other small baby Sansevieria. So this really, I'm so glad I took it out the pot, because otherwise those poor two leaves, they would have just perished if they stayed in that soggy soil for any longer. They needed help. So let's give these two little babies a fighting chance and get them cleaned up and sorted out in that goblet. The rest of this, I'm going to pot it up in that green vase, the green pot, sorry, with the rest of the small Sansevieria babies. And I'm just going to raise it a little higher actually from when it was potted before, because the roots are quite long. So I want to give them a chance to sort of grow into the pot, and if I push it down too much, the roots will have no room really to start growing further into the pot. So here I've potted it up and it's looking happy. The leaves are still perked up, and you can see that the small baby Sansevieria are in there too. And sorry, not Sansevieria, sorry, Spathiphyllum. Strike that. I've been saying Sansevieria all along. I'm so sorry. Yes, it's a Spathiphyllum, the peace lily. So here we go. They're all there. And the little tiny ones as well, they look healthy. They're strong. And this peace lily, hopefully, should thrive in this pot and bush out and give me lots of offshoots. And because we know that there aren't any offshoots really that haven't got roots, so they should all be okay, and any new ones growing will have roots and will have some supply from the mother. So this peace lily hopefully will start growing, and these little unusual leaves they should actually fan out soon. And this plant should be okay. It's looking nice in this pot. So let's have a look at the poor little two leaves that, they didn't have any roots. So I've washed them off and I'm going to put it in that goblet. And I'll just give this a little water before I go. You should really water in your plants once you've potted them. Just give them a good water so any air pockets in the soil, everything can even out and your plant can have a chance to just hydrate itself after its little shock from being transplanted from its previous pot to this pot. And I'll just give the little stems a little clean as well with the water. I'm not giving it any fertilizer water, it's just normal water for now. It needs to acclimatize to its pot, so as you can see I've raised it quite a bit so that the roots have a chance to go right down to the bottom and have a bit of growing room. So I've raised it a tiny bit, like an inch and a half. And like I said, this plant looks good. So this spathiphyllum hopefully should thrive. And this are the two little leaves that really had nothing to hydrate them. So we're just putting them straight in water. Hopefully they'll get some hydration now direct from water. Washed off all the soil, and I'm going to arrange some pebbles in there a little better so that it's nicely supported. It's a little drooped at the moment, but I will support it so it's sitting in the middle, and hopefully this will start recovering, because like I said, it's been drooped like this for days on end, and I've been very worried. I mean, after it got to being a week, I thought, no, this is unusual. I mean, they should have perked up by now or started unfurling. So let's hope that these perk up soon, because they shouldn't really be pointing down like that. I mean, that's just a warning sign. So let's just hope that a few hours later they'll get better. I'll keep you updated, and let's see what it looks like after a few hours. Like I said, if it doesn't get any better, then it's a goner, but it should. Right, so here's all my potting up done here. The main plant potted up in soil, and the little goblet with the pour-off shoot that had no roots. So hopefully, they should all thrive soon. This one, I'm really hoping for it to bush out and maybe even give me a spath, a little flower maybe. I mean, it's still summer. A few hours later, look what's happened. It's perked up. This is just a matter of a few hours, and I've put it a bit further away from the window. Like I said, it's got no roots, so it needs to be quite far away for a while. It doesn't have to have any strong sun near it until it's started to develop some roots. So it's quite far from the windows if you look, literally like, several meters away from the window. But it's still got enough light, and look at the difference. I mean, look at that. I've supported some pebbles, and if you look, they're just pointing straight up now. Look at that. I mean, that's just amazing. I'm so happy. So obviously they were trying to tell me something. They were saying, help, we need water, please help. So now hopefully things will be okay. I'll keep you updated. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day. Please like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.